What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We're on the PTS for Red Horizon. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's get straight into it with build number one that I've got here right now, and it's with the Iron Will and the Regulus. As we know from my previous video, where snipers are absolutely awesome with this thing, are pistol builds just as good without being able to use Headhunter? And we know as well that pistols have got a significant buff on some of the gear sets. As you can see here now, we can get 48% pistol damage from 2-piece imminence armaments, and we can get even more from D&H, being 24% pistol damage as well. Now, as you can see here, I've got a couple of things that are prototype, but as you can see here, I've not been very lucky. Just the headshot damage buffed up on this one, and on my contractor's gloves, just the damage to armor on this one. But as you can see, they've got a headshot damage at the regular 10% rolled on, and I've got a mod as headshot everywhere. So this is a complete headshot build, as you would imagine, normal, apart from them foxes, because I must use it in another video that I'm preparing for the PTS. But what we'll do is we'll roll that back off. You can see here now, imminence, armaments, headshots and weapon handling with unstoppable force. That could be vigilance if you wanted to start off with a bit more of a bang. We are going to use a shield. I'm not a big fan of vigilance, because if you do get popped in the back, you do lose that damage. So either or work, but we are going to go for it for maximum effect. You can see here, headshot, weapon handling on the holster. Foxes with headshot as well. We've got the Iron Will, and we've got the Punch Drunk holster. Now, there's two different builds variations of this that we've had for a long while. One would be this one, and then one also would be this one, a Headhunter's Fury, as it had become to be known as. But again, without the chest piece, the chain killer or something like that, we are again missing a lot of damage. So does this now do enough? Because essentially what we're doing here is we can't run the Punch Drunk here, because the Hunter's Fury backpack is trashed here when it comes for extra damage. So we've got to run D&H here with vigilance, and then we've got to run the Hunter's Fury mask, because we are locked in with the chest. But what we're thinking about here as well is the Regulus, and this thing's still pretty hard to get. They have gatekept this away from a lot of the there's no blueprint to craft one of these or anything like that. But headshot kills create a 5-meter explosion, dealing 400% weapon damage and applying bleed to all enemies you hit. So yeah, pretty spicy. So even though we get our boost here with the pistol damage, imminence armaments, if I remember rightly, was 60, but now we kind of push over that, because we get the 6% weapon damage, we get the pistol damage, and then we get the 24 here from the pistol. Is that going to be enough so that these survive the change? Whereas it's pretty clear at the moment, as far as the PTS stands, that snipers get a massive opportunity, because all of a sudden we can use exotic snipers which have some pretty special talents. In fact, we're not short of good snipers now, with the Shroud, the Nemesis as well in the sniper category, along with the brand new Prima Donna that we've just got. So we're going to use Lincoln for all of our testing. I've got a lot of testing to do, and Lincoln is just the easiest. Obviously, you notice how much you run around with your speedy pistol. You really miss that. So we don't necessarily have to be too careful with headshots like you would do normally. That was nice. That radius on the explosion is pretty big. But what's it going to be like when we actually, get some tough bad guys? Right now we're against red and purples. We are on heroic. I certainly don't feel like that, we hit that purple, didn't take all of his health. I certainly don't feel like we could take this into legendary like we were doing with the sniper rifle. See what I mean? So are we going to come a cropper a little bit more when it comes to elites? A little bit of tracking there. Hit the red first before the purple. And I feel like that probably pays off a little bit. Rogue agents. But we're testing. We're testing. Hey, because of that gun. No shot. No shot. Get off fire. Get off fire. Oh, no shot. I thought we were cheesing it then. But as well, what you got to be careful of as well, although it does say headshot. Although it does say that every shot is a headshot, there is a 1 second cooldown. So if you're spamming, you'll notice that there is a great instant where the in-between bullet will actually benefit from being a headshot. And I can imagine if they actually expend that cooldown any further, it might actually just ruin some of these builds altogether that are very good in the PTS. So let's just try in this area here. Hopefully we get some high ends. It is weird hitting a body shot and it counting as a headshot. All the high ends at. Hello, sir. That's scared of me. We're going to be at the end of the mission and we've only tested one build. I want to test 2 builds in this one mission. It doesn't feel as sharp, or though, if I'm being perfectly honest already, as Headhunter's Fury does. Kind of feel like I'm missing out on some big damage from having Headhunter on the build. You know, and the people that are good with this build, they're not going to suffer at all. People like me who are terrible. Here we go. Oh, we got an elite. We can one-shot him. It's interesting that sometimes the headshot you know when you're in the gray for the headshot to trigger because you don't get that explosion. And you've got to hit things, Tickle, which... Oh man, we've had hardly any elites at all. I really didn't realize there was that few elites in this mission. I'm going to do the next room with this build, and then for the last room, I am going to swap to the Hunter's Fury version. So we can try out that. I've been calling this one Headhunter's Fury all the way across, but this is just Headhunter's high-end pistol.
We can lock that tunnel door from their control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those mortars loaded with DC-62.
All of a sudden, though, I feel like one of them streamers that are well good at hitting headshots. I can see the you see the Regulus explosion every time. Because that's not me. Alright, let's try this version then. It is definitely underpowered in comparison to what it used to be with the Determined. But if you don't need to use the Iron Will, yeah, it's still GG's, right? There's definitely more damage here now. With the headhunt, the Hunter's Fury version. Yeah, definitely more damage with this. Yeah, there's definitely more damage with the Hunter's Fury version than the high-end version. But it's okay for heroic, as you can see. My build is pretty capped out. So yes, you know, you could go prototype, you could go echo everywhere, and you know, you could make this a little bit better. But unlike where the snipers have had a serious upgrade with the Iron Will, because of the type of gun you can use, although the Regulus is amazing if you can hit headshots, we don't have that variety with the pistols. So unfortunately to me, this is a little bit of a downgrade. Is it better for casual content? Absolutely. If you want to casually no brain challenging with this build, you will absolutely floor anything. You know, depending on how you want to play, you could use the high-end version and play at range. You could run and gun and John Wick it with Hunter's Fury if you wanted to as well. Put some kind of armor regen talent on the back instead of vigilance. You wouldn't need that damage, and it would do really well as well. Potentially, you know, use a Banshee Pulse instead and just run around and destroy things, and I think that would work well as well. But I think, you know, for this to compete at all, and although yes, it shouldn't compete, is what I'm saying there as well. You know, it definitely shouldn't compete with the chain killer. We shouldn't be getting to these kind of levels. But if they want pistol builds to come out of this at least a little bit better than what they are, they need to be a little bit better than what they are right now. They're just not quite good enough. You know, if anyone's playing this in heroic, they've got to be at this standard. They've got to be maxed out. They've got to be, you know, in this kind of place. They've got to have a Regulus, I would say. I don't think anything underneath any other pistol is going to come anywhere near close. Regulus is DPS king, and it's not going to come anywhere close than, you know, than anything else. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. So yeah, there's a few little changes that need to happen here. I think they need to give us potentially more pistol damage. That might help in this scenario, but they've got to be careful with the balancing. It can't come anywhere near the fact that we're not running a chain killer, because then that kills the point in making this change altogether. But definitely interested to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time for more PTS feedback. Bye bye.